I've just presented a hotline at the ESC 2025 here in Madrid, the NEWTON-CABG CardioLink-5 clinical trial. I was one of the co-principal investigators along with Dr. Mazer, and Dr. Lawrence Leader chaired the trial. We asked the question of whether intensifying LDL cholesterol lowering with Evolocumab would have favorable effects on saphenous vein graft failure, a clinical problem that remains persistent and recalcitrant for which we have no solutions. Therefore, we did a global, international, randomized, double-blind clinical trial of Evolocumab versus placebo in Canada, the United States, Hungary, and Australia. About 800 patients were randomized to receive Evolocumab or placebo, and the primary endpoint was vein graft failure at 2 years. Notably, Evolocumab was added on top of moderate to high-intensity statins. The baseline LDL cholesterol was 1.85 millimoles to begin with, and we also initiated Evolocumab within 13 days of the index bypass operation. At 2 years, the primary endpoint did not show any difference between Evolocumab versus placebo. Neither were there differences on the secondary or hierarchical win ratio endpoint. So when we take a step back, what has this told us? Number one, that even in 2025, despite optimal medical treatments and improvement in surgical care, saphenous vein graft failure remains persistently high, and we need novel strategies to try to address this problem. Number two, the venous atherothrombosis or venous graft failure likely follows a different biology than conventional atherosclerosis, and we need to really understand that with better research focused specifically at evaluating what are the determinants of saphenous vein graft failure so that we can truly target them with pharmacology. But for the clinician in the trenches, the key take-home message is continue intensifying LDL cholesterol lowering for long-term reductions in major adverse cardiovascular events. But in the short term, this does not appear to be the solution to this recalcitrant problem.